Hello, I'm David Hall from Alto Intelligence, and I'm going to take you through today the Birst two-tier BI architecture, an architecture that we use to deploy business intelligence in an agile and rapid fashion and really give people the information they need to run their businesses better. Okay, so the starting point really is your starting point. It's your existing data warehouse. It's the warehouse that you've spent years, a great deal of time, a great deal of money investing in. And basically, we're just not going to throw that away. We're not going to rip it and we'll replace it. We're going to leverage it. We're going to take all the good information in there and we're going to make that available. That's the existing data warehouse. But there are other data stores out there in your enterprise. There may be data marts, little isolated databases. There may be cubes of data. There may be access databases, forecast spreadsheets. The existing data stores that you're going to need to really give that rounded view in all the data you've got. You may well have invested in cloud-based applications. Two great examples: Salesforce and Marketo. Again, a lot of information there that we need to use if we're going to make the correct decisions. There's other cloud-based ERP systems such as NetSuite. There's other cloud-based CRM systems. You may be using Google Analytics data feeds from there. All of these data feeds form part of your enterprise data structure. We're going to leverage it. We're going to make that information available in a timely manner to the users. Finally, you've probably heard the term data reservoir or staging areas or data lakes. You've most definitely heard the term big data. Things like Hadoop. Take information from log files from your telephony system. There's a lot of rich insight in there. Again, as we move up the BI, MI, get a bit smarter, we're going to start to leverage that data. All of these things combined in what we call the enterprise data tier. This is all the information, all the data that you generate on a minute by minute basis. Okay, so that's the starting point. That's where we need to get that data from. Historically, that's taken 18 months plus, great big long data warehouse projects, which by the time they're finished are no longer relevant. We've moved away from that. And how have we done that? Well, by using the power of Birst and what we call the user data tier. This is really Ralph Kimball in a box. This is taking the stat that around 80% of the effort of any business intelligent program, they're not projects, they're programs, is moving the data around. It's getting the data into a structure that can report in a timely and accurate and repeatable and flexible pattern. And this is what Birst call the automated data refinement, or ADR. We take the data out of those cloud-based ERP systems. We connect directly to them. We take data out of your on-premise, your existing data stores. We take data out of your spreadsheets. We put them through the ADR, which basically generates the ETL, generates the data structures, and puts it into a format that we can then use going forwards. And it does this rapidly and it does it automatically. But we're not going to move large amounts of on-premise data out of existing databases and move it into the cloud for the sake of it. Instead, we're going to use live access, which lets us retrieve that data at the point it's needed and present it up in a timely and accurate and quick manner. It's live access. And all of this feeds into, it seems a slightly old-fashioned term, but it's still very relevant. It's the semantic layer. It's define the measures, define the attributes once, and then reuse them across the enterprise. So basically, combining ADR, combining live access, we have access to all the data we need to make the correct decisions. Okay, two terms that we need to define. We've got centralized BI. These are the burst spaces that are used at the department level or maybe a division level. Finance will have one. They'll have a gold standard set of data. Sales will have their own particular priorities, and again, we'll build that up in their own burst space. We may have marketing again, which is concentrating on slightly different things. Traditionally, this is taking many different instances, many different servers, but now what we're saying is we can combine, using the multi-tenanted environment, we can take these centralized BI spaces and we can basically network them together. What we can also do is, if we look at more localized, more decentralized BI, if we go to the EU or the US, there's different things going on. People want to blend their own data nowadays. They want to add value to their data stores. They want to get proper insight. And we do that by making the centralized BI available in a decentralized manner. By again, in the multi-tenanted Birst environment, we can virtualize it. We make the central stuff available locally, and we can blend them together and use them as they need to be used. Okay, this can only be done in a pure multi-tenanted cloud-based environment. So centralized and decentralized BI. So the single semantic layer, build it once, use it in many places, and we consume the data in the adaptive user experience. Several parts to this. We might have pretty standard interactive dashboards. You'll hear the term value-based design if you do some more research into Birst. A standard interactive dashboard that displays the data, lets you diagnose the data, and it ultimately lets you make decisions on how to improve the key value indicators. We might have enterprise reporting, maybe a little bit more looking back, seeing how you did this month or this quarter or this week. But again, it's important, used in many enterprises out there today. We find that we move away from the MI as we move towards BI. We're starting to get a demand for predictive analytics. Birst leverages R, and it has inbuilt into it a product called Weka, which is more machine learning, more predictive learning. We have visual discovery, so again, the end user they know that there's a problem, they can drill into the data, they can examine, explore the data and come up with the real reasons behind the trends. We have paper-based things. We have pixel perfect reporting for printing out those invoices. We use the Design Studio for that. And finally, we have mobile analytics. We have an iPad app that lets us consume data offline or online. It syncs regularly. You can even wipe it if people leave the company. But again, it's the same. You build it once and you consume it across all of these devices. Which leads us on to what people use at the moment. We've got people out there that use Excel. It's very powerful. It's used in many business users in many enterprises. Again, we're going to leverage that. Let's make the solid enterprise data available within the tools that people like and that people use. So we've got Excel and we've got the open client interface that lets us access data via the Tableau front end. So there we are. This is the two-tier architecture. We've taken your enterprise data. We've done all of the difficult stuff in an automated fashion. We've made it available in a single user tier across many different methods of consumption. Thanks for listening. Any more information, please contact Alto Intelligence.